I'm John, and welcome to another Materials for the Arts third Thursday conversation with an artist. And tonight we're excited to be meeting with Pamela Isaac, and she's going to walk us through how we can actually make some amazing art projects with simple reused materials from around our house, like paper towel tubes, paper, just using glue. And just to remind everyone that the reason we have these weekly gatherings online is because we at Materials for the Arts want to share ideas with how people can reuse materials around them to make art. And we have this fabulous reuse facility, this massive warehouse in New York City, where we gather materials left over by different industries, by the community, and then we donate those materials to schools, to arts groups, to community centers, to museums that use those materials to make art possible. And so we're excited tonight to share with you the work of Pamela Isaac. And so first I'm going to introduce Pamela, and she's going to walk you through some examples. She's going to show you how you can make some things. You might follow along. You might just kind of learn as you watch and then go back kind of like a cooking show and do it later. But then you also have a chance afterwards to ask some questions as well. So Pamela Isaac, is amazing. And Pamela, just to make sure you unmute yourself, I'm just super thankful that you were able to join us tonight.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Oh, great. Good evening, everyone. Season's greetings. It's so great to see everyone. Well, actually, I don't see you, but hopefully you see me. But it's great to be able to present this wonderful workshop. So,
awesome. Well, Pamela, before you start, I just wanted to make sure people got a little sense of just, kind of some of the work that you've done. So I know, I've followed your different projects over the years, and I know that you've done lots of work as an artist, making art pieces, also making things like jewelry and books and fashion elements, but that you've also worked as a teaching artist, including programs for Materials for the Arts, doing all sorts of awesome education. And I've heard you talk about how to you those two things kind of overlap and enmesh in your life. And I think that's really cool. So thanks again,
Yes. So for the past 30 years, I've been teaching jewelry design and visual art, schools, libraries, and 18 years at Materials for the Arts. The interesting thing about my journey is that originally I started with working with semi-precious stones and all kind of beads, but as of, I would say, the past 10 years, my work has evolved using things like paper, glass, magazine covers, paper towel rolls, all things that are reusable. So where I was really interested in working with things like metals and stones, I'm really interested in things that we can take from home and create wonderful pieces of art. So that's really where my journey has taken me. And these are just some of the samples. This is a sample of what I'm talking about. So, I mean, I think it's really great when you have something as simple as rolls and where you can be very creative and make something beautiful. I mean, really, when you think about it, when you have something like this or something like this, and you can create. I did this one yesterday, watching the snow. You can take the rolls, and make a little snowflake. I mean, I think it's great, especially now since most of us are home, and where maybe before you could go to a place like Materials for the Arts or Michael's or just Blick, but now you're home. So it's great when you could take things that you have already at home and be creative. I mean, even my necklace that I'm wearing. Oh, I need to bring it closer. I mean, if you look at my necklace, this necklace was created from magazine, from, just a page from magazine. I take the magazine page and I roll up the page and I make little tubes. And with each tube, I'm able to do something like this. So, I mean, and it's beautiful.
So you're
it's
cutting,
white.
you're like cutting it into little
I
pieces and then gluing them
cut the
together?
pieces. I make the tubes by taking a page from a magazine, just taking it with the dowel or just a chopstick, and I take it and just rolling it. So I just roll it. I start at one end, and then I continue to roll it. When I finish rolling it, it looks like this. And then you take and cut pieces, and you could do all types of things. I mean, I take this little tube. I use it for the stems of flowers. And this is from a page from a magazine also. So that's one thing. Also, I take the tubes. This is a book cover. I've taken lots of tubes and just covered a book. I've done that. I mean, and also covering a box and even making a little feet for the box. So like a decorative box. These are things that are home, that I have at home already. But anyway, I want to focus, whenever you're ready for me to, on making the ornaments. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Listen, I've got supplies here, so I've got.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. So
yeah,
let me tell everyone the supply list. It's very quick, very simple. You need paper towel rolls. Okay. So maybe you don't use paper towel rolls. Some people use a towel. If that's the case, everyone uses this, the toilet tissue rolls. So it's either or. Okay. You could do the same thing.
Could you, if you didn't have those, could you maybe do it like I have some like wrapping paper? What if I loosely rolled like how you did with the magazine? Is that possible if someone didn't have it, or better to find the tubes for this one?
It's better if you have this because it's cardboard.
Okay.
It's hard. It's hard.
I got two. I actually have it. I got three, so I'm good to go.
So if you have, as I said, I know some people in their house, they may not use paper towels, but you definitely use the little one. So you just will need more of these, okay? And to answer your question, you could roll it, but I've never tried it with the paper like that. But
these are a little sturdier, right?
It's definitely sturdier because especially if you're painting. Because if you think about it, if you're gonna paint on it, you want the stiffness of the cardboard. You'll see in a few minutes. Okay. All right. So, as I was saying, the paper towel rolls. You need a good pair of scissors that you're comfortable with. Right. So I have my scissors, glue. Now, there are several options. You can use a glue stick. Tonight, I will be using regular Elmer's glue, the liquid. Okay. Right. Also, you can also use the glue stick. Also, that's another option. You can also use tape. You can also use a stapler. But I will be using Elmer's glue. Then the other things you need is a pen or a pencil. You need pen or pencil, and that's really it. Paint, crayons, or markers. And that's if you're interested in coloring. So if you notice on this one, I use paint and I use old nail polish. Wow. I don't recommend you use nail polish tonight. You need ventilation if you're using something like nail polish. But you can sprinkle a little glitter if you want to. That's why I was using the nail polish that I did on this one. But The things that are optional are shells, like shells, beads, and old broken pieces of jewelry. And that's only if you're interested in embellishing your work. Okay? All right. So now the base to start off in creating your ornament, you're going to start with one of these. Now, when you finish using paper towels or the toilet tissue roll, it's nice and round like this. Now, what you're going to do, it's round. You're going to take it and fold it in half, like. All right?
Like squish it, kind of?
You kind of squish it. I like that word.
All
You kind
right.
of squish it in half.
All right.
You're squishing it. It's going to squish it in half, like that. So, I'm only going to use the tape measure. You need a tape measure or a ruler, but you really don't. You need like 3/4 of an inch to go in to pick the size to create this. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm doing, I'm going to measure here 3/4 of a way of the inch. And I'm making a line. I make a line all the way down. I make a line just like that. All right. Now, once you do that, you cut the first one. All right. You can cut the first one, and or you can make lines with after the first one. You just go put this next to it, make a line, continue to make a line. Okay. Once you've done that, okay, and I have this because I did this earlier. You have a bunch of these. Okay, you call them petals or the piece of the ornaments. Okay, and so you make a bunch of lines that look like this. And once you have all the lines, you cut them. And you'll have lots of little things like this. Okay. Besides using the paper towel rolls, you can also use the sleeve when you buy coffee. When you buy hot coffee, they give you the sleeve so you don't burn your hand. So you can save those. At one time, I had a bunch of them. I did save a bunch of them, but I don't have them here right now. So tonight we're just going to work with the paper towel rolls.
No, but that's great because I always feel so bad. It's finding uses, for these things that we just, we don't, that just get thrown away.
And this one here, this ornament is with the paper towel rolls, but the longer ones are the sleeve from the coffee. Yes, that's what this is.
So now you got to show us how you make these circles turn into these amazing designs.
And that's what I'm going to do next. And we're going to start with this one. Doing this. Okay? Now the way that this one is done, you're going to need 4 pieces like this. 4 pieces. All right? And all you do, and this is when you take your Elmer's glue or whatever glue you're using. Okay? So I think in my case, I'm going to use the hot glue gun just so I could show you. But you're going to take whatever glue you decide to use. You're going to put 2 together like this. and put the glue along here, one end. Before doing it though, okay, we had it flat like this from when you were cutting it. You can stretch it open now and make whatever shape you want. If you want it to be like fat, you can squeeze it and make it fat like this. Or if you want it a little slim, so I'm gonna have it look like this. I have two of them. And in my case, because I'm demonstrating and I need to hold it up and it'll dry quicker, I'm gonna take a little bit of glue and put it on the end here and connect this side to this.
Okay.
Now, and it looks like this.
What about me with the regular old glue? Can I do one of these?
You could use it, but you need to keep yours flat because it's gonna fall if you don't.
Like if I'm coming back around, can I do that? That's okay, and then I'll do another one to hold it here. Like.
Well, okay, let me show you. So you have it like this. Then you're gonna put your next glue right here, and you're gonna attach it here.
Okay.
Okay.
So for me, I'm gonna do like this.
So I put a little bit of glue here, and usually I'm using the Elmer's glue, but tonight I'm using the hot glue, and I attach it. See, it looks like this, and I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Take this one.
Turns from like a Celtic star into kind of like a four-pointed star.
Yes, it does.
Cool.
And
math.
Okay, so I wanted to show you. All right, so this, it looks like this. And this is the same as this. Now, the only difference is this one is from a class that I did in May, a virtual class. We didn't paint this. We took crayons. I was working with a younger group, and that's one of the things you can do. You can, I'm not going to stop and color it, but you can take regular crayons and you can color it. Now, it's better, I should have mentioned that it's better to color them first and then attach it. If you're painting, if you are painting, you can put the pieces together and then paint it. You can do that. And I use acrylic paint. That's what I use for this one. I use acrylic paint on this. On this one. I use acrylic paint.
And then what does that have as well? It has like a jewel in the middle or something?
Yes. So this is the part where you take pieces of broken jewelry. Don't ever throw out broken pieces of jewelry. Okay? You take pieces of jewelry or either beads, like a nice piece of and that you will need to glue on. You can't use Elmer's glue. You do need to hot glue it. And you could add piece of stones, or you could add shells or buttons. And I took a piece some monofilament or fishing line, and it's hanging. So you might notice this is a different shape from this shape. The only difference is you would take another piece that's cut and you add them to the sides by adding one here, one here, one here, and one here. You have something that looks like this by adding them on the sides. See? By adding them this way. Okay? So this, you start out with this one, and you just add this on the side like this, on each side. And it looks like this, which looks like this. And what I did is I even put a stone on the back of this one. in case you can put this in the window, and if it turns around, you have the bead, you know, and it's really, really, really nice. So there's this one.
It's cool how it's like almost like a fractal or like a pattern or something, you know. It's very,
Yes.
I can see how you could just keep going and going with it.
And speaking of going and going, that's what I did with this one. You see? That's two of these put together. You can, it's like a puzzle. You could just keep putting them in whatever way you want them to go. All right. And
right. So I mean, I'm just using glue stick. I've already got my first ones. I was
it's working
holding
good.
it.
That's good. And you know what? If you feel that it's not, it is staying very good. That's very,
it's
very
loose,
good.
but I think if I had worked on a flat surface, it would be all right.
Yes.
You know?
Now, to take that one even further, what I've done, okay, so this is what we're creating now. And this is 3 of them, and I'm attaching this one on a hanger. If you see, it's on a hanger.
Uh-huh.
And you can make a mobile.
Huh.
Or like a little wall hanging.
That's awesome.
That's 3 of them. Let me just show you. 4 of them. Okay. Of course, I didn't just do this. I did this a while ago. But by making this, and you color it and add a little stone, you have something that looks like this. The nice thing about these ornaments also is that it's not only for Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. You can display this any time of the year. I mean, they're fun to look at. They're light, they're sturdy, and they will last a long time. Okay, so that's this one. It's a mobile, and so I'd like to show everyone how I created this one. Now, this is something a little different. This one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'll spend about 8 minutes or so or less demonstrating how to do this one. Okay. The way that we do this one, I'm going to move everything out the way.
I'm working on my other one here while you're talking.
Okay.
I can't stop myself. It's too fun.
Am I going too fast?
No, this is great.
Okay.
No, it's perfect.
Well, this is just to give you some ideas. I mean, it's endless the things you could do a lot of different things with this. So the way that this one is created, all right, I have this dowel, and I have a sheet of paper from a magazine. Okay. So I'm making the base for this, what's going to hold all of these. And the way that I create my base is I take my stick or dowel, and I'm going to start at one end. I put glue at the other end. Oh, you're going to do this too? Okay. All right. So when you get to the end, I do it at the beginning. I put glue at the other end. Do not, and I emphasize, do not put glue at the top here because it will get stuck on your stick. You don't want that. The only place glue should be is at the other end. Okay, so I'm just putting a little glue, and I'll lift it up so everyone could see in a moment. Okay. If you don't have magazines, you could use newspaper. You could use those irritating advertisements that they leave on your, I shouldn't say that. You could use the advertisement that they leave on your stoop, you know, like for grocery stores, you could, whatever paper you like. And you take your chopstick, knitting needle, a dowel, and you start at one end, and you just wrap the paper. Let me get it started and I'll show you.
It's just like rolling it
You're
using.
rolling it. You're rolling.
Let's stick this on one end. So I don't
Okay,
hold them.
so it's like this. Okay, you're just taking it and rolling it from one end to the other end.
There we go. I was already just excited, like I just grabbed a random magazine, but I'm amazed at the colors that you find in a magazine. You know, it's pretty cool.
Yes, yes,
I just got this
yes.
nice orange for mine. Oh, well.
The nice thing about the Elmer's glue, the liquid one, is that it maybe with the stick, the glue stick also, it makes the paper stiff, and it'll stay. When it kind of works like with like Mod Podge, where it gives it like a thick, it makes it a little like not cardboard, but a little stiff. All right, so this is gonna be my base for this ornament. Okay. Now, unfortunately, John, you might need the hot glue. So this one you might want to watch. I don't know. You could try it though, but you may have to keep yours flat. All right.
All right.
This is the base here. Okay. What I did ahead of time, because when you're doing a class, you have to do things ahead of time. Prepare, you prep. Okay. I painted my little petals on my parts right here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take glue and put a little bit of glue on the end. You try it with the glue stick and see what happens. I think we'll see.
We'll see.
So, okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to have it going this way. And even with the glue stick, okay, it's staying. I had to hold it for a minute. All right.
Cool.
So you would just put whatever petals you like on each side. I'll just do part of it so you can see. All right.
It's already looking kind of like petals on a
Yes.
stem. It's beautiful.
Okay. And so I have it going like this. Good, it's staying. It's behaving and staying. All right, very good. And if you want, you could space it a little bit. I think this one I'll space. With this one I didn't, but I'm going to space this one. And put a little bit of glue. I'll bring it up closer so you can see.
One thing that I think is so cool about this, it seems like it's like if you want, you can literally paint it, and people might not even know what it was originally made of, right? Like it becomes just this thing. It's very
They really won't, because and actually when you paint it and the paint dries, it feels like wood. It really does. It has like a light wood.
cool.
It doesn't even feel like cardboard anymore. It feels like wood. That's what I like about it too. And it stays. It's pretty durable. Okay. So anyway, you get the idea. You put the petals, and I'll do one more.
I was working here.
Okay.
Mine is
And
getting further.
if you don't want this to be a hanging ornament, you can make a wand. You could do all kind of things.
I mean, yeah, it seems like these are almost like little blocks or something that you could use just in so many. And you've got so many cool ways. Like,
Thank you. Thank you. So you get the idea. This will turn into this. And the only thing that I did different, okay, is that at the bottom, I put a hole through one of these, and I take a piece of wire, Okay. And I brought this all the way down. And so that's how I did that. And I added to the bottom like this. See here?
Mm.
I bring it all the way through, and you can put a bead here. And then with like old jewelry that you may have, you put the jewelry in the different parts here. And with the wire, you make a little loop. You can add a string, and you hang this up.
It's beautiful.
Okay, thank you. And as I said, when you paint it with the acrylic paint, it gives it like a hardness where it feels like wood, and this will last quite a while. Okay, so we have that. Now, one thing that I didn't show the group yet. Now, one thing that I've had a lot of time this year, like most of you,
Mm.
uh, and this is something that I did in my my spare time. If you can see, can you
Wow.
see? It's like a really big one. So it's
Amazing.
probably about 8 different rolls, 8 of these. Okay, and what's holding everything together are those little sticks that I made. Remember I showed you what? Okay, so that's what's holding it. If you see here, the little sticks that I created. So I mean, you can. This is light, but it also feels like wood. And you can hang this on the wall, in the window, and great. Okay, so these are different ornaments that you can create by using the paper towel rolls. Okay.
Now, I got a question. I happen to have like leftover like wrapping paper, like the
Yes,
edges, you know. Would that work too to roll?
I think it can. I think it can. Yes,
I'm gonna try. That's cool.
you
Because I
can.
thought that might have a
Now,
nice festive
what?
feel, or I don't know, you know,
Yes.
if I was making
Make
decorations.
of course the pretty side, have it flat on the desk. You know, you want the glue to go on the white side, and you're
So
gonna
that
roll
this
it.
is like on the outside. Nice. I'm gonna
Yeah.
make a
So
couple
that's
of those.
yes. Nice paper. I like that. I like the paper.
Thanks. My son picked it out.
Oh, that's nice. So this is something you can do. I mean, you can make this is also an ornament that I created. It's not with the paper towel rolls. This is with magazine paper again.
Hmm.
Okay, making those little rolls. And sometimes I just make bigger circles. Sometimes I take the paper and roll it individually. I just make like I'll cut little pieces of paper, not the whole sheet. I just might cut like a little piece of paper and just take it. And you don't even need the straw with that. Or you can use a straw. You can just take it and roll it and put glue at the end. And by doing that, you attach them next to each other, the different rolls. Okay. And what I've done also is I've taken beads and put them inside. I
Wow.
hope you can see it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
great to show it really close so we can. So
Yes.
it's kind of like this similar concept of rolling the tubes, but they're smaller
Yes.
basically, and therefore more intricate.
It is intricate.
Wow, it's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
that's intricate.
And that's
And
like your necklace.
yes.
That's cool.
And this necklace is very durable. It's very, very, if you could see it.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yes.
And is the necklace painted
What did I do with this
or
one?
Mod Podge or something? Like covered in
No,
glue?
but you know what? Putting Mod Podge is a good idea because it would stiffen it even more. This one I didn't paint because I like the color on the magazine page.
And I'm pretty sure, like, if someone doesn't have Mod Podge, they can just take
They
some
can take Elmer's
glue
glue.
and water it down a little bit, right?
They don't even have to water it down, actually, because with Elmer's glue it dries clear, and you could just take the glue and go over the whole thing, and it'll make it nice and stiff and durable, and you'll have it for a long time.
Cool.
So
that's gorgeous. I love the
that
idea of
one,
making a necklace out of it too. That's great.
that one. Oh, then this box. Okay, so I'm still fascinated by the zippers. I was doing a lot of things with zippers. With this box, what I did is I took a slide, a regular slide, put it in the center of the box, and cut up zippers and put zippers around the slide, put a really pretty button here. On the sides, I took music paper and I rolled it.
Cool.
If you look closely.
Cool.
Okay. And this is the front of the box.
And is it it's like, what kind of a box is it? Just a cardboard box?
It's a regular, it's a box that jewelry probably came in. And on the bottom, I took spools, like from the thread, and I made little feet for the bottom.
That's awesome.
But all these things you have at home, probably. You can use cereal boxes. You can use. See, I save different boxes for my vitamins. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to do something.
That's a good point, though, because it's like to set those things aside, or just to have a little stash of supplies is really meaningful.
It's a great idea, especially if you have children. I mean, it shows them that they could take something like a little box and create, you could make something like this.
It's just awesome. And I love, like, too, the scavenger hunt aspect of it too, because it's like making like the music paper or the magazine. What do you use? It's very cool.
Well, with the music paper, I was making a lot of flowers. I was doing the flowers. This one's not the music paper. This is with magazine, using the magazine along with that stick that I make. Yes, there's that. And so I think, this is another box. I don't know if I showed this one.
So that's layers of the rolled magazines side by side.
You cut them and make them small. You cut little small pieces.
All right.
Yes.
Like kind of like that.
You cut them based on the size of the box, though. You don't. You don't cut until you know what box you're gonna.
Yes. But then they just kind of each go next to each other.
They go next to each other.
That's awesome.
Elmer's glue. I use Elmer's glue. Elmer's glue is very strong. You'd be surprised. And even on the side of the box, I use the little sticks.
And Elmer's dries clear, right?
It dries clear. That's one. I like using Elmer's glue because when I do the classes, it's not toxic and it's pretty strong. And I like that it dries clear. It dries clear.
Awesome. Someone in the chat asked a question about what are some other, ways, like other containers that you could, can you reuse other containers, like the little plastic packaging containers for tomatoes or things like that? Are those, could those work?
Sure. You can use them to make mobiles. You can use them as a vase. Give me 1 second. I'll show you a quick example. I have a sample. Just bear with me 1 moment.
That's awesome. You have literally a million samples just within reach in your studio there.
I do. It's not far. Give me 1 second.
Well, in the meantime, I could show people. So mine's drying. Like
Oh,
I've been
that's
working
really
on it.
nice.
It's a
So
little loose,
you
but
could paint that.
it's got the shape, and I can go back now and kind of strengthen it up. So I'm feeling good
Yes.
about it. And I've
Give
got
me
to
one.
find a way to like hang it on something.
Yes,
Um,
acrylic paint works good. Give me 1 second.
so I was actually thinking about like since I don't have or string or anything here, what if I just cut my magazine just a little bit more and make like a strip like this, and then maybe
Here
I
I
can just
come.
glue this on.
Sorry, I had to go to another room. I'm back though. I thought it was worth showing. Okay, so this here is I made a vase or vase out of I drink almond milk. Almond milk.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the almond milk and I have a lot of time. So those little tubes that I make,
Mm-hmm.
cut them into small pieces.
Wow.
Can everyone see?
Yeah. No, I can.
And
It's covered in them, right? Yeah.
I covered every single side. This was, I'll show you. See the milk container.
Oh, nice.
And
And it's
on the
waterproof,
bottom,
right?
the
Yeah.
bottom I put beads. I took beads. And these are flowers. Okay.
Wait,
So
those aren't real flowers. Those are art flowers. You made those.
these are art flowers. I take magazines
Nice.
and make petals and see. Yeah.
Beautiful.
But so yes, you could take all kind of cans and you can make instruments. So yes.
So cool. So cool. Well, Pamela, these are just amazing ideas. We're getting fired up, and I mean, I think it's great because what a perfect time to both make art because we're
Yes.
we're in our house. It's really snowy in New York, and otherwise,
No.
it's a great time for gifts and
Yes,
decorating
yes it
too.
is.
So that's so
Yes.
so meaningful.
Yes it is.
I think that everyone probably has this becomes a perfect excuse for everyone to give themselves a minute to make some art, if not right now, using this concept.
Right.
So I'm loving it. It's totally working for me. But now that I've got this one going, I'm trying to mess around with trying to maybe create like a little piece of paper to hold it,
Oh
but
yeah.
I
What
want
what
to
are you
like
what are you using to stapling it or what are you
I just glued it. I figured
glue
I'd
it?
wait, but yeah, I could staple it. Actually, let me I think stapling it's a good idea. Maybe I will. I happen to have a stapler, so I can
Well,
just
the only reason
staple it
just one staple and maybe cover the staple.
there. Voila.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna paint it in the future. I
What
think because
what kind of
it has
paint are
this
you
like
gonna
little scraps of white on it. And I want to get off it.
what type of paint are you gonna use?
What do
Acrylic,
you recommend?
acrylic works really well. Regular acrylic paint.
All
You
right.
just take it and yeah, you just paint it. You have the option of painting ahead of time. You could do it, or you could create your sculpture and then paint it. The nice
Okay.
thing about the
Right.
acrylic paint, it'll come right off your hands too. Yes.
Sweet. Well, this is awesome. And thanks again, not only for coming on and showing us these ideas, but for all the work you do. Just trying to teach people about how these leftover materials can be reused for art
Yes.
projects. So we have just questions from our audience, and thanks everyone for joining us. And again, you can come in every month for the third Thursday of the month. We have a workshop or a meet the artist. So we had a question. One question was one viewer was wondering if you could show us a little bit more in detail how you make the tops of those flowers.
Oh, how I made the flowers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If
I
it's
can do that.
possible. I have some more magazine stuff here I could use.
Sure. Okay.
Got this parrot here. This looks like a good
Okay. So the
piece.
thing with I can do that. What you should do is you pick a page that you like, okay? And all right, you just tear the page out of the magazine, and you take a pen or a pencil and you outline, you make different size petals, okay?
You just
So
draw them right on there.
you draw it on there, okay?
All right.
So I'm gonna make different size petals.
So just kind of freehand, different spots, looking for it, little teardrop shaped petals.
Yes, actually, I'm gonna try to take apart one of these. So,
Just
okay.
kind of drawing these little.
Well, you know what? I don't want to
Yes.
mess this one up. So all you do, you make petals. You cut out.
And then cut them out.
You cut them out. You cut out
All
whatever
right.
You're gonna need about 8 of them.
All right.
So try to make different size petals.
So like, how does that look for a petal?
Oh,
Is that too small, too big, right shape?
You know what? It's a whole flower. It's a whole big petal. I get. Maybe it's not a petal. Make a flower.
No. Explain to me. Like, so just wait.
Okay.
So wait. Don't cut out. You're saying don't cut out an individual thing. Maybe more. Continue
I'll
going.
show you. You know what? I think time wise, I'm gonna take apart one of these. Let me see if I could. I think I could do this.
I'm a student that needs a lot of help here.
Oh, that's okay.
Story of my life.
You know what? This whole flower one is a workshop within itself, but I'm gonna condense.
But just to explain. So okay. You're saying like I shouldn't almost cut out each individual one.
It was really the shape of the whole. Isn't it a petal?
And then it rolls. So wait, check it out. What if I just did like a zigzag that kept going? Is that the shape?
Here we go.
So like one of these. I get it.
Like this. See?
Okay.
All
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So all you're doing is you're taking different sizes. It's really good if you have those what do you call it? When you shish kebab skewers and you stick it through the petals and you layer it. You're layering it.
So am I on the right track more now?
Yes, that's it. You need it's better if you have different sizes.
Okay.
And you can, if you're gonna use the one that I made, like here, you have to cut holes in the middle. Now, if you're doing a lot of them, you get the ones with the point at the end, the sticks. They're called barbecue skewers. And you stick it through the middle, and you create flowers like this.
I see. So you get the effect by that layering.
You're adding glue around the middle where you're sticking it. Okay. When you have a bunch of these, they're really pretty. They come out. They're really, really nice. It takes time to do them though. So I have like little petal, medium, and then little again. So you add different ones.
Awesome. This is cool.
Yes. So that would be a separate class in itself.
Listen, thank you. Once you showed that, everyone was like, "How do you do that?" Right? It's like,
okay.
So,
you can use the gift wrapping paper you have.
All right.
You could use newspaper. I've used subway maps.
And I think that's cool too. When the thing that it's made of, you can see what it's made of. You know, I think people think that's
Yes,
interesting.
I love using musical paper, paper with musical notes, and and then sometimes I put a little rhinestone in the middle of the flower. Can you see?
Nice.
Yes.
Gives it that extra kind of
Yes.
dimension to it. And I feel like I've seen you when you describe things as like rhinestones or things. Sometimes it's something that used to be jewelry, but sometimes it's like a zipper, or you find these, you see different
Yes.
things. It's kind of has a shiny element. It becomes one thing, and I mean, I've seen you make things with like literally hundreds of zippers,
Oh
leftover
yeah.
zippers. So
Now
like,
that I have right here.
I mean, that was a phase,
Here we go.
the zipper period.
Oh, I'm still in my zipper period.
Okay,
I just.
okay.
Here we go.
Wow,
Zipper
wow,
jewelry.
amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. So I'm getting my flowers here. Check this out.
Oh,
So
you're doing it. That's it. That's it.
I'm getting this last one.
Did you?
Doesn't want to get
Did
on
you?
it. There we go.
But you add a little bit of glue so it'll stay, especially the
Okay.
bottom one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
did
use
it,
the glue
Jones.
stick.
That's it. You
Nice. It's fun
and
too, cause like it's
and
weird
what
the
I
things I
did,
found.
I saved my coffee. Look, my coffee cup here, and I put flowers in them.
Nice.
Yes.
So there we go.
That's really nice. Yes. And you can move the petals. You can make them go up, make them go down, whatever you want.
And this one's doing pretty good here. I had to re-glue it a little bit, but it's doing great. Got a little repaired spot.
I've made them and brought them to a person's house. They last forever, which is
Yeah, this is great. I love it, and it has its string on the top. And we've got my flower here, and I've got
yes,
my tube.
yes.
So wow, we're
So
doing so
those
great.
two,
So, a question I have for you is, um, when you're doing these projects or that kind of thing, where do you get some of your inspiration? How do you go about? Do you kind of say, do you think of the project and now look for the materials, or do you see materials and then get ideas?
um, well, I know with the magazines, I had a lot of magazines, and I didn't want to throw them out.
Hmm.
So I sometimes I just see something and I just think of doing it. Um, a lot of the things that I do, I didn't create them originally, but I put my spin to it. I mean, just like the zipper jewelry, there are other people that make the zipper jewelry, but I have my way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with this, I've learned throughout the years from doing the classes at Materials for the Arts, and just even with the libraries and just personally, that we could waste a lot of things, and throwing things out, but it's better if we can, instead of always wanting to throw something out, to take it and be creative with it. We definitely save the environment. And plus, that's where folk art comes from, I believe. It's it's like a movement. You want people. I do this type of work to inspire other people, because we have to save our planet, and
Wow.
we can do it in a beautiful way.
Wow. And
Yes.
and and I think that, I mean, what a constructive way of doing it, by being creative and inspiring. That's awesome. And I
Yeah.
mean, I guess that just brings me to just one other thing I'd love to hear a little bit more about, or you could share with the audience tonight is, um, I know that you see art as being something that's almost like a living practice, and this idea of making doesn't end with the object, but has to do with the education. Um, if you could just tell us a little more, like why you do that, and why that's important to you.
why the type
Why
of
you're
art.
an educator and why education is such a
Oh,
part of your art practice, I guess.
well, for me, it's just like the time that we're living in now. It's been a refuge for me, and it's been a way of it has helped me to deal with a lot of different situations, and it's like music. Some people turn to music. I like art. Art is it's something that relaxes me, and I know it has helped to inspire. Just seeing art has inspired me, and I want to do that for other people. You know, whether it's children, whether it's survivors of domestic violence, people that are surviving from cancer or whatever. It's just it gives you a purpose, and it's like now what I'm doing in my personal time. I'm not so much doing this type of work. Really, I'm crocheting, and I've been making scarves, and I'm gonna give scarves out to different people that need to keep their neck warm. I'll just randomly go up to people because it just relaxes me. And I think art is a wonderful way to express yourself. And it's something that I'd like to pass on to younger people. That's something I see. Even I'm gradually going into retirement. I'm semi-retired, but but as long as I'm on this earth, I would like to continue expressing myself with art and encouraging other people to be artistic also. I don't
Wow,
know.
that's beautiful. No, it's so meaningful, and I know for a fact, just seeing the different people that have been inspired by your workshops, and so
Thank you.
and over the years, and thinking about those people growing up and the world that they're growing into, and the world that
Yeah.
we'll all they'll inherit, and I think
Yes.
it's so meaningful, and I appreciate everything you do, and thank you so much
Yeah.
for that.
I miss working with the children. I really do. But I look forward to it one day. I do.
Yeah.
It'll happen again, I'm sure.
Well,
You
this is
know.
a way. I mean, it's like you're saying. It's part of the reason why it's so important is because, it's like you're not always there, so that inspiration is precious. So that even right now through the video interface, it's like we're still getting ideas. We have these supplies around our house. We've
Yes.
got this the time and the space, and so it's a perfect opportunity and a great way to spend time together with friends or family that you share space with. So I'll definitely be doing this with my kids, and we'll
Right.
be decorating our house, and I'm already inspired here. So I know I'm looking for
And one
ideas.
last thing. What these what I should have made a sample. You can make rain sticks with these and make little
Mm.
instruments,
Mm-hmm.
so that's
Mm-hmm.
something else you can do. You can make, yeah, you can put little beans or rice, put some rice and beans, make sure they're
Mm.
dried though,
Mm-hmm. Like a
inside, and
shake
close
kind.
it up, and decorate it. Yes, you could do that, and have a little concert
That's
with your
cool.
family. Sure. Yes.
That's a great idea. Absolutely. Yeah. Right now is a great time to be playing music and doing little charades
Yes.
and plays and oh man. Well,
That's
Pamela,
true.
it's just been fantastic to have you joining us this evening to share these ideas. And again,
Thank
folks,
you.
make sure you get your chance to make your decorations using leftover materials that you have in your house. And I'm sure you've got all sorts of creative ways that you can spin this project out. And please, if you do get a chance, share them with us. We'd love to see your examples. You can share them on our social media or email them to us. Thanks again for joining us tonight, and we welcome you every
Thank
third
you.
Thursday. Thanks, Pamela, and
Thank
we'll see
you.
you again soon. I'm sure we'll have you here
Yes.
again, and otherwise people can see you at Materials for the Arts.
Yes.
Have a great night, Pamela,
Okay.
and good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Okay. Good night.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All
See you
all
later.
right, John. Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, John. Thank you.
Bye.